What if you could be coached by two of the top coaches in America on two specific things necessary for your success: confidence and comebacks? Well, we're excited that you're here today, guys, and we're excited about comebacks and confidence. And I've been working on my message for you today, maybe my best message of all 4 weeks. But I got some good news. Good news, as they used to say. Is that many of you may want to come see us in Dallas. We just got a location today for the Dallas Comeback campaign, which is an incredible Hilton there. It's got a nice river behind it. It's incredible space over in that Plano area, over there close to the Star. So I'm very pleased with that. So we're going to be posting the link if you want to take action today and come and join Tim and I in Dallas with Sharon Lecter and a host of other celebrities and folks that are very, very talented. We also have Nashville at my lodge, and it's beautiful, 8,000 square feet. You're going to want to do that. But if you can't come for some reason, we have just opened up the ability to live stream those events around the world. And if you could purchase the live stream for $97. Okay.
That's very fair. Yep. Very fair. I like that. I love that idea.
Full day live stream. If you can't come for some reason, you're out in the country, you're somewhere and you just can't make it, you want to make it. We have had people, Tim, on this session who have purchased tickets in Dallas and other places. So if you're out there, we're going to be posting, my team's going to be posting links today. Zach Raines, if you'll see Lakin and Kara to make sure they post the $97 link and also the $299 and $499 link, please.
And then just have your team send that to our guy, to Joseph, yep, and we'll do that. But Coach, people are really liking the connection between us. And I'm getting some people from the world that I work in the Hollywood world, who are just loving the fact that we are working together.
Yep.
Confidence and comebacks, because you have to have both of these. And like I've been saying, you've been saying, this is a pivotal time for all of us. And I beg you, if you can get to Nashville or get to Dallas, you got to do it. And if you cannot get there because you're from another country, then you can order it and you can watch it online. But it's a pivotal time. Come on, guys. It's time to rise up.
It is pivotal. And listen, confidence is the one thing that affects everything. The ability to come back fast, the ability to compress time through a comeback, the ability to get up when you've been knocked down, the ability to fight through an adversity, which is an unwanted outcome. It's a departure away from the ideal scene, is so critical. Tim, if I could give I have two, I got two youngins now. I got an 8-week-old youngin, and I got almost an 8-year-old youngin, and I call them Bud and Sissy, like Urban Cowboy. And I go John Travolta on Urban Cowboy. My wife.
I love it. I love that movie.
My wife said, "Quit calling our kids Bud and Sissy." Now, here's my point. If I could give them anything, Tim, that I have, is the ability to be incredibly confident, contagiously confident, and to come back fast, man. Come back fast. And because I would rather give them that than anything. If they said you can only give them just a few things, I would give my kids confidence and the ability to come back. Okay, that's how critical this is.
I love that, because the reality is, I was coaching a guy yesterday, and the crisis that he created for himself, Coach, if he does not make the right choices, it's going to take him a decade to come back. Mm-hmm. If he gets the right partners with the right information, like what we're providing, he can come back in 12 months. Otherwise, it's a decade versus 12 months. I'll take the 12 months.
Absolutely. When you can compress time, remember in transition, there's an ending, there's a disorientation, and there's a new beginning. That's a simple way to look at a transition in life. There's an ending of something. There's a period of confusion, right? And typically, Tim, during the period of confusion, we're low on confidence. which is why we go back to old habits and new ways.
Very, very interesting. And let me ask you a question as we're getting ready for you to teach. Why do we become a little bit low on confidence during those types of periods?
Because we're coming off what is perceived to be a losing season. You know, I was a basketball coach, and you lose, you can have a lot of confidence, and then you lose a game. Now you're disoriented. Now it's like, okay, now here's the deal. That one loss, one season, I was 16-0.
Yeah.
I'd won 16 straight games. And I lost one game, and that turned into 7 straight losses.
This is amazing.
That one loss turned into 7 losses. I was disoriented. I was discombobulated. I couldn't figure out how to get my team back on track. I was down. I was depressed. I couldn't figure it out. I was stuck. Yes. I kept trying different methods. Man, I tried everything and nothing worked. I couldn't get a win for anything.
Yeah.
And that's what happens for when we are in transition. We go through divorce, okay, and we're lost and we're confused. And everything that was normal to us is now abnormal to us. The world is right. So we're low on confidence. We feel like we've lost, we failed, we've been rejected. Now, I coached people in the prison system for 4 years.
Yep.
Maximum security offenders in the state of Tennessee. My job was to rehabilitate those offenders, because there's only 2 things you believe in. You either believe in incarceration, which means we're going to lock you up and throw the key away, or you believe in rehabilitation, which means while you are incarcerated, we will help transform your life so when you get out, you don't go back to prison.
Wow, wow, wow.
That's a big job. 4 years, some of the hardest work I've ever done. They used my book, This Ain't No Practice Life, and I studied transition at a very high level during that period. And here's what I figured out. When they came out of prison, they were low on confidence. They had no driver's license, no good friends, couldn't get a job. So guess what they did? 98% got out and turned around and went back. Because when they're low on confidence, you go back to, don't miss this, old habits in new ways. Okay?
So powerful.
Go through divorce. You're in a transition period. You go back and find your old girlfriends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't reject you. They accepted you. So much easier to go back than it is to go forward. And that's what I learned during these periods of transition, is when I was low on confidence, it was so much easier to me go back to old habits.
So let me ask you a question. Is confidence contagious?
Yes.
Tell me why.
Because a confident person brings an energy. They bring a contagious, it spreads, right? It spreads. And what happens is when you're confident, other people are attracted to you, right? That's kind of person of interest concept. And more importantly, Wallace D. Wattles talked about this in The Science of Getting Rich, 1916. He said that when you are around people that give the impression of increase, they are people of advancement.
Yes.
Put off an impression of increase. Now, that's confidence, man. Here's what I'm basically saying. When I'm with Tim Storey, I feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
That's an impression of increase. When I'm with you, I feel better about me. Okay? And if you could ever be a person that makes people feel better about themselves when they're with you, you're a confident person. It radiates. It's like, man, this dude believes I can do it.
Can I give you an example of this?
Please.
I was friends with Charlton Heston, and Charlton Heston and I were great friends. He lived in Beverly Hills and was part of my Hollywood Bible study. And Charlton Heston played Moses. You remember this?
Oh yeah, it's great.
So one day, me and him were flying somewhere, and we had to go through Dallas on a layover. Me and Charlton Heston were going somewhere, and so many people were seeing him and getting so excited because they thought, I just saw Moses. And the more they looked at Charlton Heston with such awe and wonder, I started feeling taller.
Oh yeah.
I started feeling bigger.
Right.
It was rubbing off on me because they were like, oh, this guy must be something. He's with Charlton Heston.
Exactly right.
It's interesting how that works.
Well, I mean, when you and I spoke to 10,000 people at 10X, and everywhere we went, we couldn't go anywhere. We
You're right.
a number of people that just were so hungry to be around you. You feel like $1 million, but the reason they want to be around you is because of the way you make them feel. I was using the example today of when Garth Brooks, and this is a story of confidence, and I'll get into the teaching, is when he played at, was it New York's Park? He asked 90 minutes before the show, how many people are out there? And they said, his person came back and said, there were 800,000 people out there.
Oh my goodness.
And he said, how many people out there again? And his guy said, 90 minutes ago, there were 800,000 people out there waiting to hear you sing.
Yes.
That was 90 minutes ago.
Woo.
There's over 1 million people out there waiting to hear you sing now.
Wow, wow, wow.
Ah, that's good. And that dude radiates confidence. All right, let's get in.
I'm going to turn my screen off so you can go right at it.
You got it. All right, guys, we're talking about confidence, and man, this is going to be such a good session, because when I was 25 years old, as I told you, I lost every bit of my confidence. Okay. And you may see me today at almost 44 years old, and you may believe, well, this guy's got a lot of confidence. But it has been through a number of knockdowns and breakdowns and breakups and breakthroughs. And sometimes you got to have a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at 25 years old, as you remember in our session, I lost every bit of my confidence, every bit of it. I was clinically depressed. I was on medication. My mother was a nurse and said, I'm taking you to the doctor. I can't see you this way. And that was a big moment for me, because at 25 years old, I learned of two big things. One, never place your confidence in one person, in another person, right? Never place your confidence in one person. And never place your confidence in another person. And I also learned that there is no such thing as rejection. Some will want what you have. Don't miss this. Some will not want what you have. So what? All you can do is control the stimulus. You cannot control the response. All you can control is by making an offer. I just made an offer for me to speak at an event, X number of thousands of dollars. And I made another offer. All they could do is come back and say, man, we don't want to do it. We don't like that. We don't like the offer. We don't like the idea. It's not rejection. But they could come back and say, we love the offer. We're in. So you got to have confidence. So here's the deal. Never allow another person to stand between you and your destiny. Never allow another person to stand between you and your destiny. Number one. Number two, there is no such thing as rejection. So if you got a confidence issue because you've been through a breakdown or a breakup, like I did at 25, I want to encourage you. I don't want to discourage you. I want to give you courage. And I want to tell you that some of your hardest memories or some of your toughest moments become some of your greatest memories, right? You learned something, you had a breakdown, boom, you lost your confidence. Let me tell you what I learned. I'm going to become an expert at confidence. I'm never allowing another person to stand between me and my destiny again. God gave me a big destiny. He gave me a big vision. In the Bible, it talks about old men had dreams, young men had visions. Or excuse me, young men had dreams and old men had visions. Well, I have a big vision, and that was implanted in me by the manufacturer. It's like, man, I'm never allowing one person to stand between me and that vision. I could have 100 people say, can't do it, coach. It won't work, coach. You're crazy, coach. But I believe in the vision and I'm going to do it. So because I'm never letting another person stand between me and my destiny. So there is no such thing as rejection. Never let another person stand between you and your destiny. Some of you, your confidence is tied up in what another person thinks about you. Could be a spouse, could be a partner, could be somebody in your community, could be a negative word somebody said. I made up my mind at 25 years old, I was going to become an expert at confidence. I was going to build, maintain, and protect my swag, right? So when you think about it, when you think about this concept, this concept of confidence is real simple. The lessons that you learn along the way, like I mentioned, losing 7 games in a row, my confidence took a hit. But guess what? The very next year we came out and we won 28 games. We were 28-3. And I am convinced, guys, that we would have never done that if I hadn't have finished the season so bad the year before. So for you, I want to show you, break down confidence today in several different ways as a recap. And then I want to end with how to get your confidence back once you've lost it. And this is exactly out of my book, Swag, my confidence book. It's broken down like a science. So remember, confidence is what? It is the memory of success. It is an internal knowing that you can create or manifest what you see, even when other people tell you you can't. It is a distribution of your talent to the world. This may be my favorite definition that I created. It is a distribution of your unique talents, your God-given talents to the world, and the world rewarding you in the form of feedback, love, appreciation, affirmation, right? That's confidence. It is, I am distributing my talent. To do this, you got to find your talent. And I am placing myself in an environment where my talent can thrive. Now, I have 2 kids, as I mentioned, and I want to put my kids in environments that their talents can thrive in. My daughter loves horse riding. She loves gymnastics. I want to place her in the best coaching that I can place her in, so her talent can thrive. And when her talent thrives with correction and feedback, then her confidence goes up. She believes she can do it. She wants to do more of it, because when you're confident, you want to do more of it. It's like, it tastes so good, give me a second helping of that. Okay, so those are my definitions of confidence. If you're not confident today, you got a memory of failure. You don't have a memory of success. As I mentioned to you, I'm big on placing things around me that remind me of success. You see it. This is one of my offices that I have here. Got all my books back here. Every time I see those books, I've got a thing over here that's a picture of me speaking at 10X. I've got a thing over there with me and a country music singer. I've got certain books placed in certain areas. They remind me of success. My training facility is called the Greatness Factory. And these things remind me. I have a memory of success. When I get down, nope, I can do it. I got a memory of success. When I'm not feeling good, I got a memory of success. So confidence is a memory of success. It is an internal knowing I can create or manifest what I see in my mind. But it is also the distribution of one's talents to the world, and the world gives them something back. Tim has worked with a lot of artists, and I saw one of the best sayings once. It was Olivia Newton-John, and they asked her what she did for a living and about her relationship with her and her fans. And she said, I give them my talent and they give me their love. And that is the ultimate exchange. Well, how confident is a person that distributes their talent? They know they're good. They know they're distributing their God-given talent to the world. The world is telling them they're good. Man, breeds a lot of confidence. You give people your talent and they give me their love. I did a boot camp 1 month ago called Flip the Switch, and it was unscripted. It was 3 days with me, 24 hours with me on 20 concepts I would teach myself if I was 20 years old. And there was a gentleman who came up to me. Man, it was incredible. I almost get emotional thinking about how powerful that boot camp was, because it really touched my life. And I had so much fun. I told my team, I want to do more of these. Like, this was incredible. And people only pay $500. It wasn't one I did to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It was literally, I felt like I was supposed to do it. That was my conscience, and I did it. And one guy walked up to me toward the end of the thing, and he had a piece of paper he had folded up like this right here. And he was almost crying. And he said, Coach, please take this. And he couldn't even talk. And I went home and I read it. And it said, Dear Coach Burt, I have been in therapy for 10 years and I've been to 3 Tony Robbins events, and nothing Nothing has changed my life like 3 days with you. Man, I just sat there and started crying. I told my wife, I said, you got to see this. You got to see these handwritten letters. You got to see these, right? I gave them my talent for 3 days. They gave me their love. Notice I didn't say money. They gave me some money, but they wouldn't like they give me $20,000 to do it. It was so impactful. So, are you thinking about the memory of success, or are you thinking about the memory of failure? Okay. What is confidence built by? There's 7 things I'm going to give you. Number 1, confidence is built through taking an action. Did a whole session this morning on this. When you're in a funk, take an action. When you have doubt, take an action. When you're insecure, take an action. When you just don't know what to do next, take an action. Okay? Confidence is built by taking action. It is not built by thinking. It is not built by dreaming. It is not built by anything. Now, Tim talked about Walt Disney. I want it to be different. I want it to be better. And dadgummit, I want it to be magical. He didn't just sit there and say that. He took an action. Every big star was once a little star that wanted to be big. And guess what he did? He took an action. Okay? First thing to build confidence, you take an action. Okay? I know John Mayer wrote the song Waiting on the World to Change. Folks, it ain't changing. It ain't changing. You have to change your world, okay? Every action we take is driven by our thoughts, and our thoughts are no wiser than our understandings. So when you're in a funk, and I'll come back and kind of end on that, you take an action, man. When you lose your confidence, you take an action. Second way you build confidence is you work the muscle. Working the muscle means you pick up the phone, you make the call, you reach out, you send the text message, you work the system. You take this course and you watch it 7 different times. I would never watch a course one time, by the way. We sent you the replay of the first 3 sessions, and we'll send you the replay of today's session. I would go back and watch these sessions over and over and over and over. Okay? I would work the muscle, man. Then I would practice. I would practice 2-person teaching. Find somebody you can teach. This is what I learned from Tim Storey. This is what I learned from Coach Burt. Confidence is built by working the muscle. Number 3, repetition. Repetition. Repetition is where habit comes from. You're confident when you get in and do something over and over and over again. Number 4, environments. You build confidence when you get in environments with accountability. Now, I mentioned this early in the presentation. Just to do something 10,000 hours of practice don't mean you're any good at it. You could play golf for 10,000 hours and still be bad at it. You could sing for 10,000 hours and still be bad at it. You do it in an environment with correction. Some people are so offended when you give them any correction, when you give them any counsel, when you give them any feedback. Okay? And you can't be. You got to be open to anything, closed off to nothing. All right, number 5, do something you don't want to do. Now, I think I told you guys this. I joined, I kind of took a little stake in a gym, an F45 gym, which means, man, I'm every morning getting up now at 5, going to the gym at 6. And let me just tell you something, folks. I don't feel like it every day. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a hard workout. It's the greatest workout on the planet. It pushes you. It's harder than I was working out. Okay? But let me tell you something, man. I walk out of there with so much confidence. So much confidence. When you do something you don't want to do, it builds confidence. The Navy's call it embracing the suck. You embrace the suck. There's so many things I've done in my life I didn't want to do. Going into the prison system for 4 years, rehabilitating offenders. I did it. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just did it. Said, yep, I'll do it. Sounds good. Okay. Number 6, preparation builds confidence. And number 7, feedback from the market builds confidence. So people ask me all the time, Coach, how do I know when it's working? Well, you'll know, right? You'll know. I ain't got to tell you. People will tell you, hey, this is good, man. You'll sell the tickets. People will show up. People will want to be part of what's going on. That's how you build confidence. Now, what erodes confidence? Because we're kind of replaying and breaking it down. Good opinion of other people. Some of you are so concerned what another person thinks about you. You make a post on Facebook and nobody likes it, and all your confidence is shot. One person says one negative thing to you, all your confidence is shot. You try something and you fail, all your confidence is shot. You're so focused on what other people think about you that the person you need to sell is yourself. The first sale you got to make every day is to your own self. Okay. So quit being so consumed with what the opinion of other people. I had a coach once tell me that what other people think about you is none of your business. Ooh, that's a good one. What other people think about you is none of your business. Because here's what I know. Some people are not going to like you because you've been successful. Some people are not going to like you because you're a failure. Some people are not going to like you because of whatever reason. Some will, some won't. So what? There is no such thing as rejection. Never allow another person to stand between you and your destiny. See how we're tying all this together? These are things I use every day, man. Somebody writes a negative comment about me. I got the ugliest message. You can imagine a week or two ago on Facebook. Private message from a person of what he thought about me and my books. I've never met him. I don't know him. I don't know what's going on in his life. But I just said, hey man, okay. Thank you for your opinion. That's it. It's just one opinion. Who cares if he likes my books or don't like my books or likes me or don't like me? Don't matter, because his opinion don't erode my confidence. Number two, giving up on something erodes your confidence. You tell yourself you're going to get up and work out, but you don't. The feeling that you have of non-completion, the feeling you have of not following something through, the feeling you had of giving up on your own potential will erode your confidence. Number three, being lazy. Just being lazy will erode your confidence. Number four, not working the muscle, no practice or repetition. And number six, being weak in each part of the body. That's the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. When you're weak in the body, you're not going to be confident. When you're weak in the mind, you're not going to be confident. When you're weak in the heart, you're not going to be confident. And when you're weak in the spirit, you're not going to be confident. Okay. Now, what is confidence maintained and protected by? I'm going to give you three things. Number one, and I covered this last week, daily habits and preparation. Okay. We talked about this a lot last week. How do you maintain and protect your confidence? Daily habits and repetition. You get up, you show up, you grow up, you deliver. You do things you don't want to do. Remember me telling you, I fed my body, physical, working out at F45, fed my mind, mental, listening to something on business, fed my heart, emotional, spending time with my rugrats and my wife in the morning, fed my spirit, listened to a sermon. And you can listen to any Tim sermons if you go back and on YouTube. I went to church at his church and really, really enjoyed it. Now, here's my point. These are daily habits. Sometimes I don't feel like listening to the sermon. Sometimes I don't feel like working out the body. Sometimes I don't feel like listening to something on business. Sometimes I don't feel like doing something. But I got a habit and I got a commitment. I take an action, right? I take an action. This protects my confidence. And remember, the strongest thing I said to you guys last week is the real way you protect your confidence is through the diversification of your confidence, right? The diversification of your confidence, meaning all of my confidence is not tied up in one thing. If my business is not going well, some days you have a bad business day, doesn't mean my home life's going bad. If my home life's going bad, right? Maybe that doesn't mean my business is going bad. Remember this statement: success in one role doesn't justify failure in another role. Just because you're good in one thing doesn't give you permission to be bad in everything else. You want an intentional congruence, right? But here's my model. I'm going to diversify my confidence. So this morning I'm diversifying it. This morning I'm feeding all four parts of my nature. Tonight when I go home, I'm going to spend time with my family. I may go out and take a walk. I'm going to listen to my sermon. I'm diversifying my confidence. I'm diversifying my confidence. I'm spending time with big time people. Now, here's the money ball. And this is what you've been waiting for the whole series, right? This 4-week series with Tim and I. How do you get your confidence back once you've lost it? If I were to ask each person on this call, Garcia Green, or Marina, or Buffy, right? Or Mark, or Melinda, or Miguel, or Stephanie, or Steve, I said, look, when you lost your confidence, How do you get it back? Because if you know this one thing, you're going to lose it. What did Tim and I say? We're trying to compress it. Meaning, if you lose your confidence, I want it to be boom. Now, I practice something called biblical meditation. I learned this from a pastor named Jimmy Evans. He wrote a book called A Mind Set Free. Your brain cannot have two thoughts simultaneous at the same time. Can't have a positive thought and a negative thought at the same time. When you have moments of insecurity, it's like something coming into your life. Could be the devil, thought, boom, coming into your life. Bad, it's thought. It's a thought of insecurity. Well, if you meditate, the concept was you meditate on the Bible. You meditate on the Word of God. You meditate, which means you read it, right? You ruminate on it like a sheep ruminates on food. You chew on it. You chew on it. You read the same verse over and over and over and over, and you have X number of verses loaded. When you have a negative thought, you replace a negative thought with a scripture. It's biblical meditation. So you're sitting there with a thought, and you take every thought captive that comes into your mind. Have a moment of insecurity. Oh, I feel insecure. Boom. No, I'm a confident person. You take a bad thought captive immediately. Like what that means in the Bible is you put a spear through that thought. You literally, boom, done. It's out. I have thoughts all day long. You have thoughts all day long. They say you have as many as, 23,000 thoughts in a day. You're having thoughts. Now, if you got low confidence, every thought is about this. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, what happens? Oh, what if it's not going to work? Oh, this, because you're remembering failure. You're not remembering success. But when you feed the mind with these things, when you have that negative thought, boom, you take it captive. You put a spear in it, and you go, no, I'm not having that thought right now. I'm having another thought, right? Because that ain't a good thought to have. Okay. That's one way I protect my confidence is when I have negative thoughts, I replace them with positive thoughts. But I have meditated on the Word. I've meditated on books on confidence. I've meditated on resilience. I've meditated on how to have a comeback. I've meditated on these things. So when something happens, boom, I can handle this, man. This is a piece of cake. I'm ready. I've been preparing my whole life for this moment, okay? Here's 5 things to get your confidence back when you lose it. I've been doing this Fight the Funk series, man. So what is a funk? A funk is an attitude. An attitude is a posture of the body which represents a mental state. You got a bad attitude? This is you. Got a bad attitude? Look at them. Knees wobbling, elbows down, face down, head down. Folks, get your head up. Get your head up. Smile. Meet and greet. Okay? Get your head up. Attitude is a posture of the body. Something or someone has gotten you into this funk. They've eroded your confidence. But they're not going to from now on, because you're going to take that power back. You're going to quit disempowering your own self and allowing another person's weakness to control you. I don't care if it's their attitude affecting your attitude, their disapproval of you affecting your approval of yourself, a codependent relationship that you're in. You're going to say, no, I'm taking this back. You don't control me, right? Because someone or something has put you in this posture of the body, which represents your mental, physical, emotional state. Okay. Now, Covey always taught, who is my mentor, we are where we are today based on every decision we have made up until today. We are where we are today based on every single decision. The word decide means to kill off. We are where we are today based on every decision we made up until today. Now, here's the good news. If we don't like where we are, we can change it. Okay, we can't go back and have a brand new beginning, but we can start now and have a brand new ending. If you've been a jerk, if you've been a negative person, if you've allowed pity to come in, if you made excuses your whole life, if you've been poor in an area of your life, I know I have in certain areas of my life, man. I'm like, man, I got to be better. I got to be a better husband. I got to be a better dad. I got to be a better businessman. I got to be a better friend, right? I fight the same battles you do, guys, every day, just like you do. I'm reminding myself, I am where I am today based on every decision I made up until today. Nobody's put me where I am today. Every bad reputation I've ever gotten, guys, I earned it. I earned it, but I can change it, okay? So here's the deal. Here's how you get out of the funk. Number 1, take an action. Said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. When you're in a funk, take an action. Change your state. Here's what I mean. You're in a funk, so what do? What do people do in a funk? Tim would tell you they lay around. Okay, now, I believe they do three things when they're in a funk. They meditate on it, which means they stew on it. This is a negative meditation. They just sit and think about it and think about it and think about it. They motivate it. This is what Solomon did in the Bible. He motivated it, which means they become workaholics. When they get in a funk and they lose their confidence, they just work and work and work and work and work. Or they medicate it, which means they escape from it. They find something to escape: drugs, alcohol, gambling, something. Most people handle pain in one of those three ways. They meditate on it, they motivate it, or they medicate it, right? Well, you got to change your state. You got to recognize, what do you do when you get in a funk, when you lose your confidence? Well, you take an action. You change your energy. You get up. What do most people do? Lay around, drink, hang around low-level people. You got to get around people who have confidence, man, which is why you need to be with us in Nashville and Dallas. You got to get around confident beings. You're like, man, I need some of that. One of the biggest contracts I ever signed, the guy walked up to me and he said, I don't know what you got, coach, but I need some of it bad. I need some of it bad. I didn't even have a methodology then, guys. All I had was my confidence. You got it. Here's a big one, and I'm going to end on this one. You got to create something in the future for you to get excited about. And it's got to scare you. You got to plan something. You got to create something. You got to open the door to something, right? Okay. You got to put something in the future. If you're in a funk, put something in the future. Now, here's what's funny, and I'll close on this. And Tim, you'll appreciate this. I would have been a mess for Tim to coach. When I was 25 years old, man, I'd have been a mess for you to coach. You'd probably charge me double. And I go through this bad breakup. And I'm down and I'm out and I'm in a funk and I can't, I'm medicating it through drinking, and I'm on prescribed drugs, and man, I'm just moping around, and my 25th birthday was coming up, I think. And somebody said, man, let's take him out. Let's take coach out. We rented this big bus, and they put a big sign on the bus that said, check your problems at the door. And all my buddies got together and said, look, we're going to have fun tonight. We ain't talking about that woman. We ain't talking about your past. We're going to go out and have so much fun. And I ended up on stage at Tootsie's in Nashville singing Country Burt Can Survive with the cowboy hat on. Now, here's my point. I needed that so bad I couldn't see straight. And let me tell you what it got. It took me back to my roots, listening to country music, and I'm up on stage. They got pictures of me with the cowboy hat on. The crowd's going wild, and I'm singing, instead of A Country Boy Can't Survive, I'm singing Country Burt Can Survive. That was the changing point for me, guys. Put something on your schedule. Put something that excites you, and you fight through it, okay? And that, my friends, is how you get your swag back. Tim, what about that?
That was phenomenal. You are a better looking version of Kenny Chesney.
Woo,
and he's good looking because he got Renee Zellweger. People forget that he was with her.
Yep.
But you're even better looking than Kenny. So I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Can people maintain their confidence? Or do you have to gain it, lose it, gain it, lose it? Can you maintain it?
No, I think when you get it and you really understand the principles that I'm teaching, you really understand it, yes, you can maintain it. Because when you get hit, boom, it's like, oh, I can handle this.
Yes.
I got this, okay? The hits are going to come. That's an expectation. The hits are going to happen, all right? Boom, it's going to happen. But you can withstand the blows because of all your training and all these tactics that we use, the biblical meditation, the confidence piece, right? You can handle the blows that come at you.
Okay, coach is going to let his screen go black. I'm going to teach for about 15, 20 minutes. Then he'll come back and we'll dialogue together. All right, so we're talking about confidence and comebacks. And what I have found is that if somebody does not have a comeback in their life, if they begin to sit, settle, and cement themselves in the setback and live in what I've been saying the last few weeks, the land of okay, then they basically get stuck in what I call an almost life. So the word almost, again, is the word nearly, just about, close to, and not quite. So An almost life is it nearly happened, it just about happened, close to it, not quite. So I often say this to my friends, we don't want to become old guys in our hundreds, because that's old. 90s not even old nowadays. But you don't want to be old guys in your 90s and late 90s and hundreds and be a could have been, should have been, would have been story. That's almost, nearly, just about, close to, not quite. So a lot of people get stuck in an almost life. I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I was 12 years of age, I was in the all-star team for baseball. And I was a very good baseball player, but it's all-stars. So you got great players in your league playing against other great players. And we went to the game before the championship, which we had to win probably about 4 games to get there. And we were beating this team, and they came back to go ahead by 1 run. Very, very important. I beg you to hear this. So Tim Storey gets up. I'd already got 2 hits that game. I was a good hitter. A lot of confidence in Timmy that he was going to come through. We had a guy on second base. There was 2 outs. All I had to do is get a base hit, just a base hit. A base hit would have tied the game in the last inning, would have tied it, so we would have at least gone to extra innings. I mean, they were standing up in the stadium. They had a cowbell, ding, 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 ding. Teams from that had played earlier were watching this game to see who was going to the championship. The place was packed, and my confidence was real high until I saw that they had changed pitchers on me. The pitcher that I got 2 hits from was a right-hander. They had switched pitchers to this lefty I'd never seen before. He's from a whole other city. And I'm a right-handed hitter, and he's lefty, and he's coming with this wicked curveball. And I'm trying to tell you guys, the first pitch he threw was this curveball that came from nowhere from the left side, and strike 1. I didn't even see it. I said, okay, I got it. Everyone's screaming. They got confidence in little Timmy Storey. Next thing you know, boom, strike 2. Looking, I didn't even swing. I didn't see the thing coming. And I was a very good little baseball player. The third one comes in. I swing. I got this guy. That he shouldn't have thrown the same pitch. I swing, strike 3. 1, 2, 3 strikes right. Now, not only did the fans just feel so bad, kids were crying on our bench. Some of the coaches were crying. Nobody blamed it on me, but I got stuck in an almost place. Now, this is an interesting thing. Literally, this is without exaggeration, for about 10 years, from 12 to 22, I used to have dreams about this that you could call nightmares, about how I watch almost was a star. Look, I almost made it happen. And I think so many of you are so close in things, but you get stuck in an almost place. Now, so I beg you to hear me today, because I've got some great information and research for you. In the Old Testament, Proverbs 13:12 says, unrelenting disappointment can leave you heartsick, but a sudden good break can turn your life around. The word sudden means something occurring quickly, unexpectedly, something swift. The word suddenly appears 87 times in the Bible. So the beautiful thing about the comeback is that you could be sitting in a setback, settling in a setback, cementing yourself in a setback, and a sudden good break can turn your life around. Now, but it says unrelenting disappointment leaves you heart sick. The reason that's not good is because your heart is where joy comes from. Your heart is where peace comes from. Your heart is where faith comes from. Your heart is where courage comes from. And man, your heart is where confidence comes from. So when your heart is broken, it's hard to have confidence. So by me being a 12-year-old and striking out with the fans watching, they changed pictures on me. And I used to just recreate the scenario in my head at 13, 14, 15. Had they not changed the picture, I could have hit the right guy. They threw the left-hander at me. Some of you think about, had I not married this person or dated this person or moved to this part of the world. But the Bible says unrelenting disappointment can leave you heartsick, but a sudden good break can turn your life around. Another way to say it is a sudden God kind of break. Now, as I coach people from setback to comeback, and you know, so many of the people I work with are entertainers, over 300 entertainers I work with currently. I have found this, that even entertainers, they start to get to that place that Robert Schuller is the first one that I ever heard say this, where they nurse it, they curse it, and they rehearse it. They nurse it, think about it all the time. They curse it. Oh, I can't believe that happened to me. It's an unfair world. And they rehearse it. Most of the rehearsal takes place late at night when you're by yourself and you're thinking about things over and over and over. Now, unrelenting disappointment can leave your heart sick. When your heart's sick, here's what happens. You go what I call singular. Everything goes inside, 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 and you're feeling sorry for yourself. When you're feeling healthy, you go plural. You go plural. Notice that when you're happy, you're in a good mood, you want to be around people. You want to invite people over. You want to go do things with people. When you're not feeling well, you go inward. Very, very important to note this, because many times the break that you're looking for will come, okay? Unrelenting disappointment leaves you heart sick, but a sudden good break. A break is an opportunity. It is a chance, okay? So a break or an opportunity or a chance will come, and you'll miss it because your heart's sick and you've gone singular instead of plural. So I beg you to hear what I'm saying. This month, the month of August 2020, is when this is being live. Some of you will watch it taped much later. In this month, opportunities are going to come. Well, how do you know that? Because miracles are either coming or going at all times. Miracles are either coming or going at all times. Woo, that's so good. See, Frank Sinatra sang his last note on the earth. Michael Jordan shot his last jump shot in the NBA, but God will never perform his last miracle. So you have to get ready for the sudden good break. I'm here to tell you, some of you are about to get a sudden good break, but I want you to be in position to receive it. Okay, watch how great this teaching is. You're going to love it. I was at a Dodger game, and I was sitting about 3 rows back, and the dugout was right here, and I was sitting next to a prominent doctor from Santa Monica, California. And he was 73 years of age. He is 73 years of age at that time. His wife was sitting next to me, and very classy couple. And as I was talking to her, and he was there, and then one of my other friends was to the right of me. As I was talking to her, the doctor's wife, she was asking me about life coaching and about a nephew that they had that was going through challenges. And as we were talking, I noticed that she kept looking up, and I would talk to her and she kept looking up, and I talked to her and she kept looking up, and I didn't know why she kept looking up, but I was about to figure it out. Well, a foul ball was hit, okay, baseball illustration again, was hit at the Dodger game, and a foul ball from the right side went this way towards the first base side where we were, And out of nowhere, I could not believe this. This lady was 71 years of age. She reached underneath her seat, pulled out a baseball glove, and almost caught the ball. I mean, she missed it barely. And I said, oh my goodness. And I said to the doctor, I said, what in the world is your wife doing? He says, oh, Tim, I can't believe her. She brings her baseball glove to every game. And she goes, yeah, why don't you tell Tim Storey how many foul balls I caught last year? And he goes, well, I forget. She says, Tim, I caught 11 and my record is 15. Okay, now, I thought this was one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. This classy doctor and his wife, and she brings her baseball glove to the game because they're season ticket holders. Now, here's what I found. To get the break that she needed to go from comeback, okay, and beyond, because you have a setback, but you're going to have a comeback and you're going to go beyond. Now, the break that you're going to get is not just going to go setback to comeback and you stop. It's going to take you beyond. You better get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Some of you are going to own 1 house, 2 houses, 3 houses. Some of you are going to get so far out of debt, you can't even smell debt anymore. I beg you to pay attention and believe me. Now, what this lady needed to get the break, to catch the break, is she had to be in the right place. Had she been way in the highest seats, she would have never caught the ball, way up in the nosebleed section. Number 2, she had to be prepared. She brought her baseball mitt, or you want to call it glove, either way, every single game. And she caught 15 one season at 71 years of age. Okay, you got to be in the right place. Secondly, you got to be prepared. And number 3, this is so good, you have got to be patient. You got to be patient. Some of you are so close to an incredible breakthrough, not a break sit, not a break stand, but a breakthrough, but you have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. And after you're patient, when that break hits, you have to respond. The word respond means you need to answer. You need to react. You need to reply, and you need to take action. This is what Coach Burt and I are going to teach you in Dallas and also in Nashville. We're going to teach you how to respond to become more confident and respond to turn your setbacks into comebacks. How to answer, react, reply, and to take action. Many people say to us things like this: I don't know how to take action. And some people say, well, I don't want to fail, so therefore I don't move. Or I don't want to be rejected. These are the common things that Coach and I both hear. Are you sure it will work? Many people say. Or I don't have anyone to encourage me. So could you imagine Coach Burt and Tim Storey together are here to encourage you, to build you up, to help you up, to stir you up, to shake you up so that you could get through the break. There's no excuses. So just like that lady that caught that foul ball, and I close with this for today, you have to make sure you are in the right place. Number 2, you have to make sure that you are prepared. She brought her baseball glove every time. You got to show up every day. Just like Coach is teaching us, show up every day. Show up every day, believing for something good. You got to be in the right place. You got to show up prepared, and you have to be patient. All right? Coach Burt's going to come back on, and we're going to dialogue a little more with you.
All right. That was good. You're always good, man. You're a real professional.
Hey, but don't you love this thing about this doctor's wife? She brought her baseball glove, and Coach, she was sitting there talking to me about some really creative things. I mean, this doctor's a big deal. He works on athletes. And I tell you, I was talking to her, she kept looking up, and then watch. A foul ball comes off the right guy, goes to the first base side. I'm not joking. She reaches under the seat. Watch. And she goes at 71.
Oh, man. The experiences you've had in your life have been amazing. I'd give anything to walk through the airport with Moses. Guys, it's been an incredible journey with you. These 4 weeks have been so much. I've gotten so many good things myself. I want to thank you for committing to your future. We believe in confidence and comebacks. Tim and I are going to be live with Sharon Lecter, a good friend of ours in Nashville and Dallas. We'd love to see you there. There's links that you can take action in. If you got a question, you can email us at info@coachburt.com. We'll get you with a team. And but if you can't, you can always watch the live stream. That's a full day, guys. That's an 8:30 to 4 full day. We got back to back people. These are incredible people. So we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, man, it's just preparing for this has made me a better person.
What a privilege. And to work with them, right, Coach?
Yeah, these people are great. These people are great. So if you got questions, Tim, I look forward to seeing you soon. Really, literally in just a few weeks, we're going to bring a little LA to Nashville.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Oh, man.
And this is just the beginning. We're going to just wind this up all over the world, I'll tell you. We're going to hit churches, synagogues. We're going to hit big stadiums, all kinds of places. Confidence and comebacks. You just watch where we're at in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
We got something good here.
We really do. And so, guys, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. If you got questions or send us, like I said, info@CoachBurt or take action. And Tim and I appreciate you. Let's go do something big. And know this, man. You were hardwired for greatness, and you have it in you, man. You have it in you to reach in there deep. We've given you the tools, and you've been coached by two of the top coaches in the world. And so thank you so much. Tim, thank you for being such a good friend. God bless you, my friend. And we'll see you guys in Nashville or Dallas.
What if you could be coached by two of the top coaches in America on two specific things necessary for your success: confidence and comebacks? I've partnered with Tim Storey, celebrity life coach, to build a 4-week mentoring program on how to build unbreakable confidence, how to take your setback and make it a comeback. Tim and I will be personally coaching you throughout a 4-week cycle of mentoring. We're going to include our book on confidence. We're going to include downloads. We're going to include Q&A questions. We're going to include a methodology and a roadmap to help you have the confidence for you to have a comeback. It's time for you to sign up and be coached by us. It's time for you to fight the funk. It's time for you to get your swag back. Tim Storey, Coach Burt, Confidence and Comebacks starts in July.